No story about mobile photography would be complete without telling you about my own conversion to iPhoneography. It was February 2011. I was shooting for a commercial luxury resort, the Crane Resort on the island of Barbados. I remember pulling my iPhone out of my pocket, almost gratuitously, taking a couple shots at sunrise, looking at it, and I had the epiphany. It was, oh my God, this thing was beautiful. That 3.5-inch retina display just popped my eyes out. I knew right then and there that the iPhone would be the next chapter for me in my commercial work. That 2-week experience in the Caribbean where I shot my DSLR alongside of my iPhone forever changed the way that I would shoot photography in the future. Now, that 2 weeks led to 2 months of shooting in my hometown, Austin, Texas, where I photo walked literally for 3 months every day, exploring what the iPhone could do as a capture device. It was after 3 months of walking around the streets of Austin that I decided to take it to the next level. So I returned to the place of my birth, Cape Cod, where with my iPhone, I seemed to fall in love with photography all over again. And I realized quickly that not only was the iPhone or iPhone photography changing the conversation about photography, but it was changing where that conversation took place, in the palm of my hand. That experience, shooting with my iPhone on Cape Cod, again the place of my birth, led me to a phenomenal 2-week trip on board the majestic Star Clippers, which is the largest passenger ship in the world, where we sailed the Western Mediterranean for 2 weeks. I shot my DSLR right alongside my iPhone. The gap was closing. Honestly, at the end of the day, some of the stuff I shot with my iPhone looked the same as what I was shooting with my DSLR. I was hooked. It was after my 2-week sailing adventure in the Western Mediterranean that I took another commercial job shooting a luxury resort in the Dominican Republic, where I convinced the client to let me shoot with my DSLR right alongside my iPhone. Once again, the gap was closing. I couldn't tell the difference. And I realized that my iPhone was just as powerful in certain subjects, in certain lighting conditions as my DSLR. Again, for me, the gap was closing. The gap was closing emotionally, and the gap was closing technically. After the Dominican, I shot literally for months, day after day after day with my iPhone. I shot literally 100,000 iPhone captures. I was convinced, as I am now, that this tool as a capture device might go down in history as the most influencing capture device ever manufactured in the history of photography. World photography. Images you won't believe of places you'll never forget.